The Playmate is, an ancient whisper in the human heart. It's the part of us that remembers joy. It's the aspect of our soul that was never wounded, never broken, and honestly never forgot how to play. This archetype isn't about being childish or naive. Instead, it's about accessing a profound and powerful source of life energy. The Playmate is really the master of intimacy, not just with others, but with life itself. He sees the world as a grand, beautiful game, filled with opportunities for connection and creation. And well, this is a courageous way to live. It requires us to lay down our shields and open our hearts to the sheer wonder of being alive. The Playmate is a force of nature, reminding us that our deepest power lies in our ability to love freely and without agenda. This archetype walks among us, often unrecognized. You might see the Playmate in the artist who loses themselves in their work, channeling something beautiful into the world. Or you might feel it in the friend whose laughter is so infectious, it just dissolves your worries. The Playmate's gift is a rare kind of presence. They make you feel seen, truly seen, for who you are beneath your roles and responsibilities. They invite you into their world, a world where vulnerability isn't a weakness, but the greatest strength. Their special quality is this. Well, this ability to hold space for others with a light touch, without judgment, creating a field of pure acceptance where magic can happen and souls can finally breathe. The Playmate is a bridge between worlds. They connect the spiritual and the physical, the sacred and the everyday. For them, intimacy is a spiritual practice. It's the art of dissolving the boundaries that keep us feeling separate and alone. Through a simple touch, a shared glance, or a deep conversation, the Playmate reminds us of our shared humanity. They show us that true power doesn't come from control or domination, but from the gentle, persistent force of an open heart. This archetype demonstrates that life's most profound truths are often revealed not in solemn silence, but in shared laughter and joyful connection. The Playmate's path is one of embodied wisdom, where every interaction is a chance to celebrate life. What makes the Playmate truly special is their relationship with life force itself. They understand that this energy, which some call chi or prana, is the raw material of creation. It's the same energy that fuels a star and blooms a flower. The Playmate learns to harness this energy not by force, but by surrendering to its flow. They become a clear channel for this divine current, and through them, it touches and transforms others. This is why being around a Playmate can feel so invigorating, so inspiring. They are not just living life, they are allowing life to live through them. They invite us all to do the same, to drop our resistance and join the beautiful, chaotic, and wonderful dance of existence. The Playmate understands, I think, a fundamental secret of the universe. They know that all of creation is born from the dance between energies. This is the dance of intimacy. It isn't limited to romantic partners, it's the interplay of forces that brings everything into being. The Playmate sees this dance everywhere, in the conversation between the wind and the trees, in the rhythm of the ocean meeting the shore, and in the spark that ignites a new idea. They tap into this universal rhythm and use it as their creative fuel. Their art, their work, their very presence becomes an expression of this dynamic, life-giving energy. They show us that creativity is not something we do, but something we allow to move through us. This creative power is amplified through human connection. When the Playmate engages with another person with genuine openness, a powerful energetic field is created between them. This is a space of immense potential. Within this field, new possibilities are born. Old patterns can dissolve, and fresh insights can emerge. The Playmate intuitively knows how to build this field. They listen with their whole being. They share from their heart. They are not afraid of the messiness of real emotion. This is how they bring people together, not through clever arguments or strategies, but by creating a shared experience of aliveness. In their presence, people feel more creative, more hopeful, and more connected to their own inner genius. Consider the energy of a brainstorming session where ideas flow freely, one building upon the next. That is the Playmate's domain. They are the catalyst that ignites that spark. They create an atmosphere of trust and playfulness where no idea is too wild, no suggestion too silly. In this environment, the collective intelligence of the group awakens. Barriers come down. Egos are set aside. Something new and brilliant is co-created that no single individual could have conceived of alone. The Playmate is the weaver of these connections, skillfully drawing threads of energy from each person and weaving them into a beautiful tapestry of shared creation. They remind us that together, we are infinitely more powerful and imaginative than we are apart. This process is deeply healing. The Playmate's use of life energy is not just for creation, it is for restoration. By bringing people into a state of joyful connection, they help to mend the fractures caused by isolation and fear. The warmth of genuine intimacy is like sunlight for the soul. It thaws the frozen parts of us. It brings circulation back to the places that have felt numb and lifeless. The Playmate doesn't need to be a therapist or a healer in a formal sense. Their medicine is simply their way of being. They offer the simple, profound gift of their full attention and an open heart. And in doing so, they remind our own systems how to heal themselves and return to a state of wholeness. The Playmate creates a very special kind of space, a sacred playground. This is not a physical place, but an atmosphere. It is a field of trust where the masks we wear in daily life can be set aside. In this space, honesty is the only rule of the game. Not a brutal, harsh honesty, but a gentle, compassionate truth-telling that comes from the heart. The Playmate knows that our deepest wounds are often hidden beneath layers of pretense and performance. To heal, we must first be willing to be seen in our raw, unfiltered truth. The sacred playground is the container that makes this level of vulnerability feel safe, even joyful. It is a space free from judgment, where every part of you is welcome. Within this playground, transformation becomes possible. When we feel safe enough to be truly honest about our fears, our shame, and our secret dreams, something magical happens. The energy that was trapped in holding these secrets is released. This release is incredibly powerful. It is the energy of transformation. It is like a dam breaking, allowing the river of our life force to flow freely once more. The Playmate acts as the gentle gatekeeper of this space, holding it steady with their own unwavering acceptance. They are not shocked by our darkness, nor are they attached to our light. They simply witness our authentic self emerging, and in their witnessing, they give us permission to fully embrace who we are. This process turns trauma into a source of wisdom. The Playmate understands that our greatest wounds often hold our greatest gifts. They are not afraid to look into the shadows because they know that is where the gold is hidden. By creating a space for honest expression, they allow the stories of our pain to be told. And as these stories are told and heard with compassion, they begin to lose their power over us. The pain does not simply disappear, it is transmuted. It becomes the soil from which new strength, empathy, and creativity can grow. The Playmate guides this alchemy not by giving advice, but by being a loving presence that allows the natural process of healing to unfold. Think of how a child learns to walk. They fall down many times. They get bruised, but they get up again, driven by an innate desire to move and explore. The sacred playground is a space where we can learn to walk again emotionally and spiritually. It's a place where we are allowed to be clumsy, to stumble, and to fall without fear of ridicule. The Playmate is the encouraging parent, cheering us on, celebrating our efforts. They remind us that healing is not a linear process. It is a dance of trial and error, of falling and rising. And through it all, the presence of a loving witness makes the entire journey feel less like a struggle and more like a courageous adventure. For the Playmate, true intimacy can only be built on a foundation of freedom. This is, honestly, a radical concept in a world that often equates love with possession and attachment. The Playmate knows that love is not about owning another person. It is about celebrating their unique spirit and wanting what is best for their soul's journey, even if that journey takes them in a different direction. This requires a profound level of trust and a release of fear. The Playmate must first find this freedom within themselves. They must be free from the need to be needed, free from the fear of abandonment, and free to be their authentic self in every moment. Only then can they offer that same freedom to another. This freedom is expressed through transparency. A Playmate's relationships are marked by a startling level of honesty. They share their feelings, their desires, and their vulnerabilities without manipulation or hidden agendas. This is not about oversharing or having no boundaries. It is about being clear. It is about saying what you mean and meaning what you say. This transparency creates a relationship where both people can relax. There are no games to be played, no hidden rules to decipher. This clarity is incredibly liberating. It allows for a deep, resting trust to develop, where both individuals know they are loved for who they truly are, not for the version of themselves they are pretending to be. Friendship is the soil in which the playmate's love grows. Before there is romance, before there is partnership, there must be a genuine, heartfelt friendship. This is the core of the connection. Friendship is based on mutual respect, shared joy, and a simple appreciation for each other's company. It is a love that does not demand or cling. The playmate understands that this foundation is essential for any lasting bond. It ensures that the connection can withstand life's challenges. When the storms of life come, it is the strength of the underlying friendship that holds the relationship together. This emphasis on friendship keeps the connection light, playful, and resilient. Ultimately, the playmate's approach to relationships is a spiritual path. It is a practice of non-attachment. It is a living demonstration that the more freedom you give, the more love you receive. This seems paradoxical to the ego, which believes it must hold on tightly to what it values. But the playmate operates from a higher wisdom. They know that true connection cannot be forced or contained. It can only be invited. By offering freedom and transparency, they create an irresistible invitation for another soul to meet them in a space of authentic love. This is a courageous and beautiful way to live, and it offers a powerful model for how we can all create more meaningful and liberating relationships. Section 5. A Symphony of Souls, the Playmate and the Peacemaker. When the Playmate meets the Peacemaker, a beautiful and harmonious music is created. The Peacemaker is, another powerful archetype. Their deepest desire is for harmony, tranquility, and both inner and outer peace. They have this calming presence and a natural ability to resolve conflict. However, the Peacemaker can sometimes become too passive, avoiding necessary confrontation in their quest for quiet. They can smooth things over so much that, the underlying issues are never truly addressed. This is where the Playmate's energy becomes a vital gift. The Playmate brings a spark of joyful disruption to the Peacemaker's calm world, inviting them to engage with life more dynamically. You see, the Playmate does not disrupt the Peacemaker's peace with aggression or chaos. Instead, they do it with play. They gently poke and prod, using humor and lightheartedness to bring hidden tensions to the surface. Think of a gentle breeze stirring the surface of a still pond. The breeze doesn't destroy the pond, it aerates it, bringing fresh oxygen and life to the water. The Playmate's playful energy does the same for the Peacemaker. It prevents their inner world from becoming stagnant. The Playmate invites the Peacemaker to dance, to laugh at themselves, and to see that true peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to move through it with grace and an open heart. In return, the Peacemaker offers the Playmate a profound gift, a safe harbor. The Playmate's life is full of high energy, intense connection, and constant creation. This can be exhilarating, but it can also be, exhausting. The Peacemaker provides a space of deep rest and rejuvenation. Their calm, centered presence allows the Playmate to quiet their own energy field, to recharge, and to integrate their experiences. The Peacemaker teaches the Playmate the art of stillness, the beauty of simply being. They create a sanctuary where the Playmate doesn't have to perform or be on. In the Peacemaker's presence, the Playmate can simply be held in a field of unconditional love and acceptance, finding true rest. Together, these two archetypes create a perfect balance. They model a relationship that is both dynamic and stable, exciting and peaceful. The Playmate ensures the relationship stays vibrant, honest, and alive, always growing and evolving. The Peacemaker ensures the relationship has deep roots, providing the stability and security needed for true intimacy to flourish. Their union is a symphony. The Playmate provides the lively, melodic notes, while the Peacemaker provides the deep, resonant harmony that holds it all together. They show us that a healthy relationship needs both movement and stillness, both playful engagement and quiet contemplation. It is, really, a beautiful dance of complementary energies. The encounter between the Playmate and the Game Changer is an event of seismic proportions. It is, truly, an explosion of creative potential. The Game Changer is a visionary archetype. They are here to disrupt the status quo, to challenge old paradigms, and to usher in a new way of being. They see the systems and structures of the world that are no longer working, and they have the courage and the vision to imagine something better. However, the game changer can sometimes be too serious, too focused on their mission. They can become rigid in their ideas and disconnected from the very people they wish to help. They carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. The Playmate comes into the game changer's life like a bolt of lightning, but a joyful one. The Playmate's role is to remind the game changer of the importance of humanity, connection, and joy. They show the game changer that a revolution without dancing is not a revolution worth having. Through intimacy and play, the Playmate softens the game changer's intensity. They help the game changer to connect with their own heart and with the hearts of others. The Playmate's energy ensures that the new world the game changer is trying to build is not just a sterile, efficient system, but a world with warmth, laughter, and love at its core. The Playmate provides the game changer with essential fuel: human connection. A great vision can easily fail if it doesn't inspire people on a personal, emotional level. The Playmate is a master of this. They are the networker, the community builder, the one who brings people together and makes them feel part of something exciting and alive. They translate the game changer's grand, abstract ideas into a language that everyone can understand, the language of shared experience and heartfelt connection. The Playmate takes the game changer's blueprint for a new world and breathes life into it, turning it from a mere concept into a living, breathing movement that people are passionate about. In this powerful alliance, the game changer provides the vision and the Playmate provides the current. The game changer is the brilliant architect who designs the new system, while the Playmate is the charismatic leader who inspires people to come together and actually build it. The game changer has the what and the why. The Playmate embodies the how. Together, they are an unstoppable force for positive change. The game changer ensures the mission has direction and purpose, while the Playmate ensures the journey is filled with the joy and connection that make life worth living. Their partnership is a model for how profound societal transformation can be achieved not through force, but through the irresistible power of an inspired and joyful collective. The spiritual journey of the Playmate is a beautiful and universal story. It is the journey from the illusion of separation to the reality of union. At the beginning of their path, the Playmate, like all of us, experiences life from a place of perceived separation. They may feel like a distinct individual, separate from others and from the world around them. Their early explorations of intimacy and connection might be driven by a desire to bridge this gap, to soothe the ache of loneliness that comes from feeling separate. This initial stage is about reaching out, seeking connection outside of oneself as a way to feel whole. As the Playmate deepens their practice of intimacy, something profound begins to shift. They start to realize that the connection they seek is not just between me and you. It is something larger. Through moments of deep, authentic connection, the boundaries of the self begin to soften and dissolve. They experience moments of union, where it is no longer clear where they end and the other person begins. This is not a loss of self, but an expansion of self. The Playmate begins to see that the same life force, the same consciousness that animates them, is also animating the other. They are two waves in the same ocean. This is a pivotal realization on their journey. This experience of union then expands beyond human relationships. The Playmate starts to feel this intimate connection with everything. They feel it with nature, with animals, with the entire cosmos. The same playful, loving energy they share with a partner, they can now share with a tree or with the sky. This is the spiral of light. It starts with a single point of connection and spirals outwards, encompassing more and more of reality. The Playmate becomes a living embodiment of union. They no longer need to seek connection to heal their loneliness, because they feel connected to all of life. Their loneliness has been transformed into a profound sense of belonging to the universe itself. This journey is not just for the Playmate, it is a map for all of humanity. We are all on this journey from separation to union. The Playmate simply walks this path with more consciousness and joy. They show us that the way to heal our collective sense of separation is not through grand philosophies or rigid doctrines, but through the simple, courageous act of opening our hearts to one another. Each moment of genuine connection, each act of playful intimacy, is a step on this spiral path. The Playmate is our guide, inviting us to dissolve our fears and remember the beautiful, undeniable truth that we are all, and have always been, one. Every archetype has a shadow, and the Playmate is no exception. The shadow of the Playmate emerges when the profound need for intimacy is driven by unhealed trauma. In this shadow expression, the Playmate might use their charm and charisma to avoid their own inner pain. They become addicted to the energy of connection, constantly seeking new interactions to distract themselves from a feeling of inner emptiness. Their intimacy can become superficial, a performance rather than a genuine exchange. They may fear true commitment or vulnerability because it would force them to confront the very wounds they are trying to escape. This shadow is not about being bad, it is about being in pain. The transformation from this shadow into a gift begins with courage. It is the courage to stop running. It is the courage to turn inwards and face the trauma that has been driving the behavior. This is often the most difficult part of the Playmate's journey. It requires them to sit with their own loneliness, their own feelings of unworthiness, without seeking external validation. They must learn to offer themselves the same unconditional acceptance they so freely offer to others. This is where the Playmate learns to be their own best friend, their own sacred partner. They begin to build a foundation of inner intimacy, a deep and loving relationship with their own soul. As the Playmate heals their own trauma, their gift becomes authentic and sustainable. Their desire for connection is no longer a desperate need, but a joyful offering. They can now create the sacred playground for others, not as an escape, but as a genuine expression of their own inner wholeness. Their intimacy is no longer a tool for distraction, but a powerful instrument for healing. They can hold space for another person's pain without losing themselves, because they have already faced their own. This is where the trauma is truly transformed into treasure. The very wounds that once caused so much suffering now become the source of their deepest empathy, wisdom, and compassion. This journey from shadow to substance is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The Playmate shows us that our deepest pain does not have to define us. It can, in fact, become the source of our greatest power. By bravely facing our shadows and doing the inner work of healing, we can transform our personal trauma into a gift for the world. The Playmate who has walked this path is a true healer. Their presence is a beacon of hope. They are living proof that it is possible to move from a life of frantic searching to one of profound, peaceful, and joyful connection, turning the lead of suffering into the pure gold of unconditional love. The story of the Playmate is not just a story about a special type of person. It is an invitation. It is a call to awaken the Playmate archetype that lies dormant within each and every one of us. This archetype is part of our original nature, our birthright. It is the part of us that knows how to connect, how to create, and how to love without fear. In a world that often feels fragmented, polarized, and lonely, the wisdom of the Playmate is more essential than ever. We are all being invited to lay down our armor, to risk being vulnerable, and to rediscover the simple, profound joy of authentic human connection. To embody the Playmate within is to make a conscious choice. It is the choice to approach life with a little more playfulness and a little less seriousness. It means looking for opportunities to connect rather than to compete. It means choosing curiosity over judgment when we meet someone different from us. It is about learning to listen with our hearts, not just our minds. It means sharing our own truth with gentle honesty. These are not grand heroic acts. They are small, everyday choices that, over time, can radically transform our lives and our relationships. It is about seeing life not as a problem to be solved, but as a beautiful dance to be joined. This journey begins with ourselves. We must first create a sacred playground within our own hearts. We must learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness, acceptance, and playful encouragement that the Playmate offers to others. We must forgive ourselves for our imperfections and celebrate our small victories. By cultivating this inner intimacy, we build a solid foundation of self-love. From this place of inner fullness, our interactions with others will naturally begin to change. We will no longer seek connection out of a sense of lack, but will offer it as a joyful expression of our own abundance. We become a source of warmth and light for those around us. The ultimate invitation of the Playmate is to participate in the healing of our world, one heartfelt connection at a time. This archetype shows us that the path to a more united and compassionate humanity is not complicated. It is paved with laughter, with honesty, with shared creativity, and with the simple courage to be real with one another. Let us accept this invitation. Let us awaken the playmate within. Let us have the courage to play the beautiful game of life with an open heart, and in doing so, help co-create a world where everyone feels seen, everyone feels connected, and everyone feels at home.